Hello and welcome to Know Your MP, our show in which we bring you up close and personal with your elected representatives, members of parliament whom you have chosen to represent you in this, the 15th Lok Sabha. Our guest today is in his second term in parliament, the first being in 2004. Please allow me to welcome Mr. Suresh Angadi, member of parliament from Belgaum in Karnataka. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. Angadi. Yes. Now, you started your career as a business person. You had done your bachelor's and then you went to do your LLB. Did you want to be a lawyer or a businessman or a politician? And how did you decide to be a politician?
In fact, I wanted to become a very good businessman. I started my own business. I belongs to an agricultural family. My father was an agriculturist. And I started the business along with
What was the business?
It is a cement business. Earlier also I was doing the cement business. Now also the same business is continued till date also. Associated with BK Birla the last 20-25 years. I am distributors in cement in my area. After completing my education, I started my business. The opportunity knocks the doors, how you say in this thing. The opportunity knocks my door to contest for the sometimes assembly in 2000 or so. Then at that time my parents and my brothers, they said, you are too young and no elections, other this thing they said in the residence. Then I left it at that time only. At that time Mr. Baba Gowda was the former central minister who was in the Vajpayee's cabinet. He came to me and gave me the ticket for contesting assembly ticket. But my parents and others, they refused. Don't go for politics and all. You do your business, they said.
In 2000, you did not. You declined the opportunity.
Declined the opportunity.
But what made you say no? Because you were, in a way, planning to have a life in politics. Why did you come or succumb to family pressure?
Because I was doing business. In my parents, they suggested me, better be in the business and have a good business and don't get involved in the politics and all, they said. But
you were already involved in politics?
Yes, I was already involved. I was a worker of a BJP.
Right.
And somebody came and made me BJP member. Then they made me the vice president of the Belgaum city. Then
So you were already in politics, but you were sort
election and all, people usually afraid because of the so many things, their involvement of the financial aspects, and we have to take many enmity with some other people. So the people were not so much of intellectual, especially
people close to you, your family sort of advised you against it. But then what changed in 2004?
Subsequently the mind has been changed by 2004. Many party workers started saying that you should become the party president of the district. Then my party has made me the district president at that time. Then I became the district president of the Bharatiya Janata Party by 2002. Then 3 years I worked for the party. Sincerely, I went to village. I met each and every Karyakarta of Bharatiya Janata Party. Then my party has given me an opportunity. At that time, Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister of the country. But I was most lucky to become the party president at that time. And Atal Bihari Vajpayee was given the good governance. We were working for the party, and in 2004, party has given me an opportunity.
Right.
And Honorable former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee came for my election canvass at Belgaum. It was an historical event at that time, and he addressed the gathering. People were remembered that gathering, and subsequently 2004 I became with the blessings of the Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the member of parliament of the 14th.
Now 2004 was a very unique situation. You may have won the seat for your party, but your party was not able to make government at the center. Despite it having a lot of confidence in winning the elections, despite the whole India Shining campaign, how did you see the turn of events at that time?
Though at that time, most of the Atal Bihari Vajpayee was given very good governance.
Right.
I read in some papers at that time, in Times of India, I mostly remember, who is the person who can give the peace to the entire world. At that time, the disturbance was there. But at that time, the only person for the entire world who can give the peace for the world, that was the Atal Bihari Vajpayee. This statement I was read on the Times of India, because so many problems were there throughout the world at that time. There was no peace in the world. Terrorist attacks, America was bombed by the terrorists. So all these two, that was the Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the only person at that time, they said. But our workers or our team did not work properly, and we have not carried the message of Vajpayee to the grassroots level, that is the village level. So there we have missed, I think, the opportunity. And our opponents also encashed the proper this thing. The Bharatiya Janata Party, it is a really democratic setup party, not belongs to any dynastic system. Here ordinary Karyakarta like Suresh Angadi become the member of parliament, which is not possible in Congress party, because they are loyal to the one family, and in other parties they are the family parties. You take any party, in the Karnataka, so Deve Gowda is having his own party, in Uttar Pradesh Mulayam Singh having his own party, in Mayawati is having the individual setup of the individuals party is there. But whereas the Bharatiya Janata Party, the party which is the ordinary workers of the party, which is the democratic setup of the party in the country, that is the only party, real democratic setup in the country I can say today. Because of those workers, my workers in my Belgaum district, with their blessings, they made me to elect in 2004 election.
How did you feel winning that election and coming to Parliament, becoming an MP, an ordinary person, as you say yourself, charting that long journey to Parliament?
It is an amazing, I cannot express the words, because it is the democratic setup, the temple of the country. The democratic setup, what we call, it is like a temple of the country. We can express anything, we can tell our views. Setup of the Parliament with so many 543 people of the entire 120 crores of the people. We are the people got elected, and the great responsibility on us to discharge the duty of the country. It may be Kanyakumari to Kashmir, Gujarat to West Bengal. Each territory of the country, we are the protectors, and we have to carry on the responsibilities. The country is having so many problems. We have to address the problems.
How easy is it for a person who has not had experience either in the state assembly or in the corporation to come straight away to Parliament and sort of discharge his duties as an MP? How do you think was your learning curve?
As a party worker, I met each and every person of the villages. I went to the Gram Panchayats, I went to the assembly segments, I went to the Jilla Panchayat level workers. So I understood the grievances of the people. What real problem is there? Some areas they're having the drinking problems were there. Some areas irrigation problem was there. Some areas electricity problem was there. So all these we understood. And what our people require. The major this thing is food is required, water is required, and for agriculture is the electricity is required, and the employment is required. If we fulfill these four things, the economically the country will become very strong.
So if a person has a good grasp of the problems affecting his area, it's easier to perform in Parliament and discharge his duties as an MP. You know, Karnataka is a very unique state in the south, among the other South Indian states which do not have a BJP presence, but Karnataka has not only had a presence, it has had a BJP government. Why do you think there is a difference between the other southern states?
You see, Karnataka is a very different and unique state. You go to the history, in the 12th century, the democracy was given by Karnataka to the entire world. If you hear the Lord Basveshwara, the Basveshwara was born in Karnataka. In Kudala Sangama, this thing has been made. Whatever the concept we are adopting in the Parliament today, which was adopted in the 12th century of Basveshwara, he was the chief minister in Bijala's government. He was the chief minister at that time. He was brought all these, whatever in Parliament we are making the laws, he was brought in the 12th century. And a backward class person, Allama Prabhu was chaired how Ambedkar was chaired in the present constitution. It was held in during the 12th century by Allama Prabhu. Allama Prabhu was holding the concept of this democratic setup. If you go to the history, the Karnataka is the only state which was given democratic setup in the 12th century. Because of that, the people of Karnataka never accept the regional parties. They want always the democratic setup of the system in Karnataka also. Because of that, and influenced by the Vajpayee, you see the earlier Chief Minister of Karnataka, Nijlingappa, Jatti, so many Virendra Patil, Ramkrishna Hegade, Gundu Rao. So all these people, I know Yediyurappa, Siddaramaiah, different communities, and they got elected in different this thing. And progress of the state is the more important in their concern. So that's what the democratic setup which was wrought in the 12th century. That blood has circulated in the in these days also.
But why would that particularly favor the BJP? Why not some other party?
Even for some other parties also, Janata Dal was there. Ramkrishna Hegade was the chief minister earlier. When the center Indira Gandhi was ruling, Congress government, there the Janata Dal was there. Ramkrishna Hegade was there. So the people are very much aware. They know the democratic setup, whom to vote. And assembly, they voted for Ramkrishna Hegade. For parliament, they voted for Indira Gandhi. So the people are much aware of Karnataka people. Last time, we were in the power in Karnataka. This time, they have given it to Congress. Within a span of 5 years, they have changed us also. So people are quite educated and quite understood. And they won't speak. They exercise their franchise during the time of election. Who is good, who is bad, who is governing better. They think that culture is there in Karnataka.
You mentioned regional parties. Why do you think regional parties have not been able to sort of take root in your state?
My state is usually, it is a national, this thing, always it is in the national stream. Never on the regional, this thing it is not there. So my state is always, it is in supported to the national cause. So that's what the regional parties have been not successful in Karnataka. That is the reason. And Belgaum is the unique place. You might have been seen, go to the history, Rani Channamma, the one Mr. Thackeray, the British collector, was ruling the Belgaum district.
Right.
Rani Channamma was fought against him. She was the first lady.
She led the revolt against
him. Yes, against the British. And she was killed along with Sangoli Rayanna. At that time, if you go to that history, and it is an historical place of Belgaum also. And other than that also, prior to that also, Belavadi Mallamma, that is one small village is there, Belavadi. She was having the this Mahila Sainya, what you call
women's army.
Women's army.
Right.
In the entire history of the world,
right,
the Karnataka is the only state having the in the world, not in in India or in Karnataka or anywhere.
Right.
In the world, we were having the Mahila Sainya. That is women's army. She was the lady.
How do you compare your two terms in 2004 and now in 2009, which began? How do you compare these two terms?
No, I feel very much pleasure in sitting in the parliament. The first term, about 6 months, Atal Bihari Vajpayee used to come to house and he used to attend the parliament and the meeting of the parliamentary board also. Everybody was pleasant to hear Vajpayee, and any issues in the parliament, any subjects, if Vajpayee used to stand in the parliament, entire house used to be silent.
Listening with
attention,
right.
Pin drop silence. But unfortunately, last 5-6 years I am seeing lot of disturbances going on in the house. So I request Honorable Prime Minister, he should find out some ways. Our parliament should function properly. It is the duty of the government. They are running the government, not we.
Right.
When the opposition is meant for to say something, what the country requires, it is not an individual subject. So many times we are feeling very bad. We are having highest respect about the Manmohan Singh, who is the greatest man, economist in the country. But the country is facing a lot of challenges.
But your party doesn't believe so. It has made some very serious allegations against the Prime Minister.
No, never we have made the allegation on the Prime Minister. It is on the government. But the head of the family and a very honest Prime Minister with so many scams. But when he is holding the position, he is the responsible, we say. So as per that, this thing, he should sit and find out some ways for the country. It is not for his personal, or it is not for our personal. Our leader Sushma Swaraj is many times, she made this thing not on personal allegations, that is, they never think of that in personal this thing. So country is first. If country remains, we all will remain. So today the country is facing a big problem, but the government should make way to have a free discussions. Any problems we can clear from this. Jayaprakash Narayan, many times, even Indira Gandhi, how many problems were there. but the country has faced.
Right.
But today, we are not finding the ways in the parliament. The other day also, the Honorable Prime Minister just read regarding the dollar, this thing. He read and he went away. He could have addressed the members, because we are the young generation. We must learn. He must say us across the party where we are with Prime Minister in all respect. But if you do not address the House,
right,
then
you know, your state was one of the states which was under BJP rule for a long time,
yeah.
And then suddenly the state had to be given up because there was a big disclosure about corruption. There were issues that reached the Chief Minister's chair himself. How do you defend that? Because BJP is a party which takes a lot of moral stand against the issue of corruption, especially at the center. And your state was one of the places where it had to eat its own words in a way.
So I must appreciate the decision of my high command. Whenever they found the fault with any person, he may be Chief Minister, he may be Minister, he may be anybody, immediately the action has been taken. The high command has taken the decision of the Mr. Yadurappa. As soon as the Lokayukta report has come, so subsequently Sadanand Gowda has become the Chief Minister, then subsequently Jagdish Shetty has become the Chief Minister. But the 5 years rule, they have given the excellent administration for the Karnataka, and the people are remembering what the Congress doing. The BJP was done very well. Now the repercussions were getting.
But it was not a very immediate decision. There was a lot of pressure from the opposition. There was a pressure from the media, and then the decision was taken out of after a lot of dilly-dallying.
It is politics. It takes happens in many times. But the decision was taken by my high command was very right. Because whenever they found the fault with X or Y or Z, immediately the decision was taken and addressed it. And my government was given a very good governance in the government of Karnataka. Last 5 years, the people are happy, and just when the last 100 years, the Congress government has come, and they are now reaping, and they are saying the mistake we have made. The BJP was done very well. This thing they are saying now. They are remembering the previous government in Karnataka.
When you compare your party to the Congress and you say that the Congress has a dynasty, the Congress has a high command, the Congress has so many things that you don't have. But are there any advantages of having a centralized leadership where everyone is under the control of a high command, so to speak, whereas in your party there are just too many voices sometimes?
Yeah, that is more important. In democracy, if you don't have voice, then it is not called as a democracy. Then it is called as a dictatorship. In my party, everybody can allow to speak. Every Tuesday we will be having parliamentary board meeting. Every MPs, they express their views and their problems before our leaders, and they hear us very silently. In the other parties, they cannot express their views, because if they express their views, they may be cut their tickets or anything they will be afraid of. So it is not happening in Bharatiya Janata Party. It is a democratic setup. Narendra Modi, an ordinary Karyakarta, has elevated to the level of Prime Minister today. So the Bharatiya Janata Party is entirely different from the other parties in the country.
But there are many people who fear that the elevation of Narendra Modi will also lead to a personality cult, where a person will be given so much power and so much unlimited rule in the party that the democratic setup of the party will be at stake somehow.
My party is one of the biggest democratic setup in the world. After America, India is the highest population, and my party is one of the biggest democratic setup in the party. An ordinary Karyakarta has become the member of parliament. The ordinary Karyakarta can become the prime minister level. Even including Vajpayee you can take, including Advaniji you can take. They all are from ordinary people. They have not dynasty system of this thing. They have not come. So this is the reason Bharatiya Janata Party is a democratic setup party. They can go to elevate it to any level. Even Narendra Modi, they are branding, but it is not the case. You see the Gujarat development and see the other state development. The government of India itself has appreciated many times Narendra Modi. So all these counts, because the challenge we have to take, it should not be taken as a personal grievances, and it should not be made as a individual this thing. So in the nation and the state and the country and the party, these should be taken into the consideration. And
what do you think? What do you think is Narendra Modi's biggest qualification to become Prime Minister, apart from the fact that he's very popular?
No, he is very clean and very prospective for the country. He is seeing country is first, nation is first. then caste, creed, other things are second. So when India is respected top, then everybody will be respected. So that is the major thing I am seeing with
But outside many countries.
And he has dedicated his life to the youth now. And I have read the other day one book, one Mr. Kamath has written, and he's dedicated the book to the youth only. And today, what Swami Vivekananda stated, you give me 100 youths, I can change the scenario of the country. Or Swami Vivekananda said 150th year, 150 year back. And today the same this thing as Narendra Modi is doing. We are finding a second Vivekananda with Narendra Modi. We want a self-respect India. That self-respect India can be done only by Narendra Modi. We are feeling.
Tell us more about your constituency. What are the demands
my constituency is Belgaum.
Challenges of
my
Belgaum?
Constituency is Belgaum constituency. My priority is for major drinking water, irrigation facilities, education and electricity. Because in my area, there are many sugar factories, employment generating the sugar factories, sugarcane farmers are there, and some parts irrigation has to be done. That we are giving much importance for the irrigation also.
Right.
And in my area, about 8 to 10 engineering colleges are there, 2 medical colleges are there. Those 10 engineering medical college students, they should get the opportunity in the entire world, not only Belgaum level or Karnataka level or Delhi level. They should be international level. My concept. Other day I met Sam Pitroda. I invited him to Belgaum. You come for one day. You are one of the most intellectual in the world today, recognized. So come and address my students there. The youths, they can have their vision for the future, their generation. So he has accepted to come to Belgaum in the month of December. So I am having my own ideas for my students, my youths. So those students should be have the knowledge of the entire world like other people. So the India is having a huge population. Right. And they have huge opportunities also. Equally.
What do you think has been India's biggest achievement as far as democracy goes in the last 66, 67 years?
It is very good because we have seen emergency, we have seen many ups and downs, we have seen.
Right.
With all this thing, we are making progress. We are blaming in politically.
So despite everything,
despite of that also we have made a lot of progresses. The ex-government, Y government, I cannot say. Every government has made their progresses. When we make the progress, we might find out some lacunas. So lacunas to be set up properly, addressed. So my concern is, with all this, still we have to go further, and the world is focusing on India, as Abdul Kalam stated. Though Abdul Kalam's vision should, if it comes true, that is only if we work hard, and we should not throw mud on each other, and we have to address our problems in the parliament, not outside. If parliament is not there, the roads will become the bloodshed.
How do you think the people's faith in parliament can be reignited? Because right now the credibility of parliament and parliamentarians is very low, especially among the people.
It is happening. To be many times we feel very bad also for that. For that we have to have introspection ourselves only. Each member of parliament, each person has casted his vote to believing us.
Right.
What I am doing to my country, what I am doing to my voter, what I am doing to my constituency. That feeling if we have in our mind. And many times the money matters in the politics. It should not be there. The money should not be the major issue in the parliament. An ordinary person can, like us, can also get elected in the parliament, and he can express his views to the poorest of the poor man of the country. So that should be the concern. In many parties, the only rich people are getting the benefits, and depending upon their status, their education, their qualification. You see the earlier days in Tamil Nadu, Kamaraj was this thing. He was not learnt anything. He was delivered a very good governance in the Tamil Nadu. Till today, they remember Kamaraj type of governance is more important for us. Till date they remember.
Right.
So a common man also should have his right to express and make this thing in the democracy.
I'm afraid I've run out completely of time, Mr. Angadi. So
yes, thank you.
So many thanks for coming to our studio and talking to us.
Thank you, Dheeraj.
So that was Mr. Suresh Angadi, Member of Parliament from Belgaum in Karnataka. We'll be back once again with another MP.